Okay, let's dive into this incredible story. We're talking about David Gran's The Lost City of Z. And trust me, this book is a wild ride. It's part biography, part detective story, and 100% true life adventure. It's a journey into one of the biggest mysteries of the 20th century, but it's also about something deeper. What does the search for something lost really tell us about ourselves? And this is the question that just grabs you right from the start. You've got this famous explorer, a map, a legendary lost city, and then, poof, he just disappears off the face of the earth. For nearly a century, people have been asking, what happened? So, to really get a handle on this mystery, you first have to understand the man who walked right into it. So let's talk about Colonel Percy Fawcett. This guy was no amateur. He was a celebrated British explorer, super intelligent, incredibly disciplined, basically the real deal. But his search for this lost city started to consume him. It became this all-out fanaticism that pushed away his family, his friends, and eventually led him and his son Jack into the jungle, never to be seen again. And what was he so obsessed with? A place he called Z. Now, for Fawcett, Z wasn't just some old ruin. No, it was proof of a huge advanced civilization tucked away in the Amazon. And you have to understand, this was a totally radical idea back then. The common thinking in Europe was that the jungle was basically a green desert, totally hostile to any kind of complex society. Fawcett was flying in the face of everything the experts believed. And here's what's so brilliant about the book, the way it's told. It's not just Fawcett's story, it's also the author's own journey, almost a century later, trying to piece it all together. So you have these two parallel tracks. On one hand, there's Fawcett's quest back in the 20s. We're talking brutal physical hardship, driven by this almost religious belief. And then, on the other hand, you have the author, David Gran, in the 2000s, doing it the modern way, with journalistic research, expert interviews, and a cool-headed, rational search for evidence. It's this incredible contrast between pure obsession and modern investigation. And the one character that ties both of these journeys together? The Amazon itself. It's really the main antagonist of the whole story. For both Fawcett and Gran, the jungle is this place of breathtaking beauty, yeah, but it's also filled with disease, deadly creatures, and this sort of oppressive wildness that just pushes people to their absolute breaking point. So, after all this digging, all this searching, what did Gran actually find? Well, this is where the story takes a really fascinating twist. Because here's the thing. Gran doesn't solve the mystery like you'd see in a movie. He never stumbles across Fawcett's remains or finds the shining golden city of Z. That simple, clean discovery, it never happens. But that's because the real discovery, well, it was something so much bigger. It wasn't about finding one lost man. It was about uncovering the lost history of an entire continent. And get this, while he's retracing Fawcett's steps, Gran connects with modern archaeologists. And using new technology, they've found exactly what Fawcett was looking for, just not how he imagined it. They've found hard evidence of huge pre-Columbian cities with advanced farming, complex road networks, the whole shebang. Turns out, Fawcett's crazy obsession, his gut feeling, was actually right all along. And that just completely flips the story on its head. It stops being just a missing person case and becomes this profound look at history itself. The book proves that the primitive Amazon was actually home to complex civilizations that we're only just beginning to appreciate. So what's the big takeaway here? Why do so many people love this book? Well, the book is just masterful. It reads like a thriller, but it's all backed up by some seriously deep research. It's an amazing study of obsession. Now, to be fair, some people might find the jumping back and forth in time a little slow. And Fawcett himself, he kind of stays a mystery. You never feel like you fully know him. Plus, if you're hoping for a simple "they found the body" ending, you won't get it. The payoff here is much more about the ideas. But honestly, those are pretty small complaints for what is, without a doubt, a critically acclaimed masterpiece. It's a powerful story that really sticks with you. In the end, The Lost City of Z isn't really a story about conquest or just planting a flag on a map. It's about what the search for the unknown reveals, not just about the world out there, but about the person who's doing the searching. And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. This book kind of suggests that every journey out into the unknown is also a journey inward. It forces us to look in the mirror and ask, what are our obsessions, our ambitions, and what's our place in a world that, even today, is still full of mysteries just waiting to be found?